Hey everybody, it's Gladys back here once again, and I'm here for episode 2 of Battlechat. And here with me tonight, I've got Na13-31. Say hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And this is a series based on community interaction. I want, to have the Battlefield 3 community be able to have a forum for their voice. So this channel is not just mine, it's not just my clan's channel. This is a forum for all of the Battlefield 3 community. And that's put forth in this series here, to where you guys have a voice. You come on and you tell us what you want to talk about. You bring up topics, and we discuss them from there, so we can get some fresh opinions, fresh ideas, and meet some new people in the process. So, NA13-31. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. Give me a subject to start us off here.
I don't know. One of the first things that I think we should, maybe just touch on is hate mail. Um, I'm sure you've received some. I've received some. Everybody's received some. Maybe we've even sent some.
Never.
That we
No,
don't
no.
admit to. But I don't know. What's your thought on hate mail?
On as far as getting it, or just hate mail in general?
As far as getting it, just in general, just overall, what's your first thought?
It doesn't bother me as much when I get hate mail. Like if I post a video on YouTube, or I put a link up on Reddit on either the Battlefield 3 page or the PS3 BF3. It doesn't bother me so much when people take the time to explain to me why I'm a douchebag. It bothers me a little more, and it shouldn't really, because I mean it's the internet. I mean, how much should I honestly care? But it bothers me more when I just get those downvotes with no explanation. you know,
Yeah.
like
I was,
like I don't understand. Like, what am I doing wrong to bother you? That's what I don't get.
the Reddit stuff is normally if someone doesn't agree with you, or if you're top comment and they don't want you to be. I understand that. Maybe they're just trying to, you know, shape the opinion in the way they want to. I mean, that works for me. I was more referring to, like, in-game hate mail. The stuff you get on the PS3. That's just it's just so appropriate and nice. I mean,
Oh yeah, those delightful messages. Yeah.
um, well, one thing I really wanted to mention about that, and this kind of struck me, a couple of weeks ago when I got hate mail. It's kind of like, you know, most of the time, I bet it's just, some guy, he's jumping on a video game to have fun, and all he gets is frustrated and angry. I mean, maybe you're doing really well, maybe he's doing really bad, and he might have been having a bad day, just wants to vent. All of a sudden, he's typing out a message about your mother and some things that you're pretty sure she didn't do. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. No, I've been on the receiving end as well as Seawolf and I, and this is going back a ways. We used to comprise these legendary. I mean, like, you would want to kill yourself after getting this hate mail, and we would compose these things. And it was mainly him, because he was the evil genius in this scenario. But man, he would send these things, and I am telling you, they should have been published. They were just works of evil genius. But I can understand getting hate mail, and I've gotten them, just like you said, like everyone else has. But for me, it's like, I just kind of chuckle. It's because it's like, I know they're getting frustrated, because I've been in the same situation, to where it's like, I'm having a real bad game. I get the same guy that seems to kick my ass every time I run into him, and it just seems like bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I usually never say anything. I rarely ever send hate mail, and when I do, it's usually to an admin. Like, if I get banned for killing him or taking his tags or something, then I'll send some hate mail. But it's usually in the form of that sarcastic, smartass type of hate mail, to where it's like, thanks for the dog tags. They're gonna make a great showpiece on my mantelpiece.
Yeah, I mean, it's to an extent, the hate mail is kind of, it's part of, the gaming culture. I mean,
Yeah.
for better or worse,
Mm-hmm.
it's there. Everybody does it every once in a while. It's just, when you're getting it, feel good about yourself, and try not to, don't feed the trolls. Like I said, worst case scenario, somebody's just really, really having a shitty day and pissed off. you know, I've seen people just feed into it like crazy. And I never understood that. I don't know. It's more fun to me. I just wanted to put out, the vibe that if you get hate mail, okay, you're probably having a great game. Feel good about it, you know. And maybe someone's having a shitty game. Don't make them feel any worse.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really advise rubbing it in almost any scenario. I think, like you just said, they're probably just having a really bad game, and you're probably doing very well, so they're picking you as the focus.
Yeah, another thing that I think is actually kind of overlooked in this game is, well, it's not overlooked, it's just mislabeled. It's called the skill mechanic. Now,
Yeah.
You get higher skill for killing, people and not dying. If they have higher skill level, blah, blah, blah. It's calculated. And this is used for quick match, which, I mean, if people always quick matched and if quick match worked really well and you could, count on it on getting you a game that you want, that could actually reduce some of, the hate mail, I would imagine. Because you're in a game with people that are gonna die, kill as much as you do, and it's from someone that dies quite a lot. I can tell you that would be handy thing to do.
Well, I mean, there's no need to toot your own horn here, but no, I mean, and I absolutely understand what you're saying. It would definitely work if everybody used it, but for the more experienced players, for the and I don't mean hardcore in the game mode, but I mean the hardcore, really, really driven Battlefield 3 players, a lot of us don't ever use the quick match feature. So getting paired with people, the randoms, we've all had those games to where we go in and we just totally stomp face, and it just seems almost too easy. And those are the guys that are hitting quick match, I think. To where they're getting paired in to where the majority of players may be randoms and, their skill level is scattered all about. But the statistic is flawed because not everybody uses the feature. I mean, if it was only based on, your in-game stats when you're playing randomly or something like that, it totally throws off the entire use of the feature if you're playing with a team. If you're playing with a group of guys that you're used to playing with, you all perform better when you're in a group. So your individual skill levels mean nothing because you're working as a team supporting each other.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, no matter what, kind of kill-death ratio you can get, if you're playing Lone Wolf against, a squad of 4 guys, I mean, especially if they're running that medic train, I mean,
yeah,
have
choo-choo all the way,
game.
Man. You're having a bad game.
This is Metro. Play medic.
Yep, that's pretty much how it is. I mean, there's sometimes I get on the guys every once in a while. We'll be playing a game and I nearly always run assault on Metro. I mean, it's Metro. What are you gonna do? One of my guys will be running engineer and he's just like, I like this class, or I want to use this weapon, or I'm trying to level up. Seawolf always, he tries to get all of his classes to have the same amount of service stars, so he's like, I'm trying to level up my engineer class, man. Leave me alone. And I'm like, why are you running engineer on Metro? There's no reason.
Yeah.
Just play the fucking choo-choo train. Get on the assault class and let's go.
I mean, one recon with the tugs is fantastic too, especially if you're,
Yeah.
trying out the defend B method.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's not team deathmatch. Let's get on board.
It's as close as you can get to team deathmatch without playing team deathmatch.
I guess you're right. It's a better team deathmatch than team deathmatch, really.
It is, man.
Because you know where people are coming from.
And this is with the bunny ears. The random spawn points. Are you fucking kidding me? You know how often I get set up to get my tags taken? DICE is like, I swear they're watching over my game, and they're like, oh, here's Gladys going to spawn. Let's put him in front of 4 enemies and just laugh at him. My misfortunes they have to be legendary over at the DICE office. I hate it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, man. I feel you on that one so much. But yeah, I don't know. That's that was just kind of on hate mail. The other thing I wanted to touch, ask you about is how do you feel about the weapon balance in the game? This is kind of a general, category. Just as a general overview. I mean, real quick, what do you feel strong? How do you feel? Is it good, bad, ugly?
Good, bad, or ugly. I caught that reference. No, I would say generally it's good. most of the weapons are fine. And the reason that I know this is because we've only got a couple weapons that are either over or underbalanced. Those weapons that really, really stick out. You know, like, I'm trying to think, when the MP7 first came out, way too powerful. What was another one? Well, now that the UMP has been buffed, I mean, I think that one's too powerful now. So when you've got these things, huh?
Oh, I was that's pretty. That's an interesting one on the UMP. Well, I'll let you finish. Then let's go over the PDW class like all together. Like after you get the general. Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, like, you can tell that a system is working very well when the majority of the weapons are fine. Like, if you don't find yourself getting owned in every situation against this weapon, you can tell the system is balanced because there's only a couple of thorns that stick out. You know, you can tell when something is too strong or too weak.
AK, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a very well balanced weapon, and it's the same thing with the M16A3 pre-patch, of course, now, and the M416 and the M4A1. I mean, these are all generally well balanced weapons, and that's why so many people use them, because they work well in a lot of situations. I don't think that they're overpowered. I think it's just players get frustrated getting killed all the time by these weapons, but they don't. I don't think they seem to realize that the only reason they're getting killed all the time is because so many people use them, because they're such a generally well-balanced weapon.
Yeah. I don't know. If someone could say that, you know, some of them are OP, then that's why everyone uses them. But I agree in general that it's pretty balanced. There are some things that could need, you know, a little bit of adjustment, in my opinion. But you touched on the UMP, and to be honest, I mean, that's to me the best balanced class. I mean, you have the M5K, to be honest with you, is probably the one that I would consider OP at something like around 900 rate of fire, and it's like 25 damage. It's really good at pretty much, you know, all the ranges as far as a PDW goes. The UMP, like at range, it's not very good, but the lack of recoil, it's, you know, that makes up for it. And it's got a really tiny magazine, you know, as well, so you're constant reloading. The three others that I like in that class, I mean, you got a P90. It's got a good time to kill, but you got 51 bullets. I mean, that you can take a squad out with that, even on normal. I mean, it's so, I mean, sneak up behind somebody with that, it's over. And in between, you know, like the M5K and UMP close quarter guns and the P90, you know, with a large magazine, you've got the MP7. I mean, that's, you know, it's got 41 with the extended mags, awesome hip fire, and it really shreds people. Then you've got the gem of the PDW class, in my opinion, the ASVAL. I mean, dude.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're on totally opposite ends on this one.
I know, we're on opposite ends on a lot of things, but I mean, hopefully we can, you know, make it entertaining at least.
Okay, well, let me preface this right here. I think the ASVAL is probably like, okay, and again, pure opinion piece here, because obviously we disagree, but to me, the ASVAL is probably the most useless weapon in the game. Like, I cannot stand it. I don't think it's extremely accurate at range. I don't think that it's powerful in close range. Its rate of fire is not impressive. Its magazine size is a fucking joke until you unlock extended mags. But DICE ends up trolling you anyways, because extended mags are the very last thing that you get.
It's true.
Like, who pushes through to get extended mags on ASVAL? Nobody, you know?
I do, and you know, I've got over 3,000 kills since I got those.
Holy shit,
It's
3,000.
Dude, the rate of fire is like 900. That's like one of the fastest in the game.
Are you sure? With
Yes.
the ASVAL?
Yeah, I mean, I'll pull up Synthic if you want, man. I mean, I'm absolutely
No,
positive.
I mean,
of
I'm
this.
not gonna,
It's
I'm not gonna
900.
fact check you here, but it just doesn't feel that
It's got
fast.
the best accuracy. It's actually, the first shot is as accurate as a bolt action sniper. I mean, this is a very underestimated gun, man. I mean, the only problem I have with it is the low bullet velocity. It's like the bullets travel like, dude, you can outrun the bullets, literally. It's so bad. I mean, and the first shot multiplier is actually the only gun that's less than 1. I mean, so your first shot is like, your first shots have less recoil than later shots. It's also got the what is that? The minimum damage. It's the same as an assault rifle. So I mean, it's like, it's fairly good at range. It had good bullet velocity, but the reload is quick, and with 31 bullets, it's like you can run that with recon and have a tugs and just, I mean, lay people out, dude. It's really good. You should give that another chance, man.
I tried, and it was actually fairly recently. I think within the past 2 months, I pushed through because I was trying to, like a personal quest of mine, I was trying to get a service star and like all the unlocks for each weapon, and I'm still continuing this now, but I did go ahead and go through the ASVAL. I got all the way up to extended mags, and I used it for a little bit thereafter, but man, I couldn't take it in close quarters. Like there's only so many situations to where you can nail a guy from so far away, to where that range is really, really, you need like an effective weapon. Most of the game is fought in the close to medium range, and to me it doesn't feel like it excels. Like I'm not so much of a stat guy. Like I do look at them and I can appreciate, okay, if this is this, then that is that. I understand the numbers, but like I'm also big on how weapons actually feel in the game, how those numbers translate to what the weapon does when I'm playing with it. And to me, that gun just does not translate well to my play style, at least. And that may be my failing. Like the way that I play may not be suited to what it's made for.
Yeah, it's a very unique gun, and to be honest with you, I hated it until I got those extended mags, and every once in a while I still hate it, but it's not overpowered in any situation. It's got you covered in a lot of situations. It's also fun to kill people with the ASVAL. Get a good nemesis streak on someone with that gun, and I mean, you feel good about that. You're like, I can play this game.
in even there, that's almost supporting my argument, because it's humiliating. Like you just got killed with the ASVAL six times.
No. I know you think it's humiliating. I know it's pretty good, but I'll keep that to myself.
Oh man.
But that to me is the essence of balance. I mean, I like this gun, you hate this gun. That's the way it should be. I mean, there should be a lot more people running things besides the AK and M16s, and M416 now.
Yep.
But so let's go by class, since we went to the PDW. How do you feel about the assault class? I mean, I know you said it's fairly balanced, but what about the L85 compared to the 416? I mean, I like both guns, but the 416 to me really outclasses it because it's got a high rate of fire. It's about the same recoil. How do you feel that those two stand up to each other?
Specifically with are we talking about the L85? There's two of them that are really, really close in name. The L85 8.2, what is it? Or A2?
The L85, the one on the assault class. There's an L86, I think, that is
that's support
weapon. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have much experience with the L85 then, but it just like I've played with a lot of the different weapons. There's no weapon that I haven't touched, but in my limited experience with a lot of these weapons, I mean, I can tell which one stands out. Like which gun. And again, this is of course purely shaped by the way that I play. I mean, my play style compared to yours, at least with the ASVAL, are on totally opposite ends of the spectrum. Now we're using the same gun, so the only difference of opinion is based on how we use it. That's purely what it is, and I recognize that. But like based on my playstyle, I can tell that I excel with certain weapons, and that's the same weapons that other people seem to excel at. The M16A3, the M416. No, I also really, really like some of the burst fire weapons, not just the fully auto. Like the AN94 is an awesome weapon for me.
How do you feel about the G3A3? Just real quick.
G3A3, I haven't had much experience with it, but when I did use it, it was kind of frustrating. That's all I really remember from using that weapon.
It's pretty fun though. I mean, that's another gun that I find, once you have to really customize what you're doing, as far as playing with that. It's really fun after that though. Speaking of playstyle, should you give me a rundown of your playstyle and how did you get there? As far as what you watched or how games you played.
Okay, well, I do a lot of team play. Like my mindset when I'm in game is number one, take objectives and support your team. That's 1 and 2 right there, the 1-2 punch, and that's how you win games. And this has developed for me over the course of several years playing with the same group of guys. I know how each one of them play. They know how I play. We all support each other by doing. We can go into a game, and we could have our mics off the entire time, and we still know what one or the other is doing. For me, it's all about team play, and it's because I have such a close relationship with all these guys. But even if I'm in a group of randoms, if I'm playing by myself and nobody that I know is online at the time, I still play the same way, but I'm a little more objective based because blue dots seem to be much more random or scatterbrained. Like I'll hit select to a guy. If I'm playing support and I see a blue dot running around, I hit select to say, here's some ammo. That's what my character says in game. And I drop ammo, he'll run in the opposite direction. There's only so much I can do in such a situation.
True, very true.
So I play the objective all the time. Always. I will never just like run around and do my own thing and kind of lone wolf it. I'm always on the objective. I throw out, if I go to take an objective, like a flag, and I play mostly Conquest, not Rush. So while playing, we go to take a flag. Even if I have 100% health, I drop a health kit if I'm playing Assault. I drop ammo if I'm playing Support. I always do this as an instinctual thing because I know if I get into a firefight and I've got a health kit near me and I start taking damage, it's automatically going to replenish. So in the firefight, that ups my survivability or my survival probability. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you can take an extra bullet a lot of the times.
Yes.
It's a great tip.
Yeah, and that's a tip I try to push on a lot of people.
I think I lost you on the audio real fast.
Nope.
You there?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, we're dropping in and out again.
Uh-uh.
No, I said that's basically a tip that I try to push on a lot of people. Like always take the objectives, always drop kits, even if you don't think that you need them. If you're at full ammo, go ahead and drop it because some blue dot might see it. It could be me out there, and I see you drop an ammo kit. I'm gonna run over to it. There's free points for you. It doesn't cost you nothing. Go ahead and drop it. At every opportunity you get, if you stop around a corner to take cover, drop a health kit, drop an ammo kit, etc. Go ahead.
Oh, definitely, man. And you get tons of points. I mean, that's where the score per minute comes in. I mean, it's really, about taking objectives. Some kills, definitely you'll get points for that. But I mean, the ammo, the resupplies, or the health defibs, tugs, motion sensor assists. I mean, yeah, I agree. That's where it really comes in the team play and helping your team and. I think that's a good mechanic in the game as far as score per minute goes. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, score per minute is at some points it's a little disingenuous to how a player actually plays. Like you could just be a killing machine and kill everything in sight all the time and have a high score per minute. And then when I see that, if I see a player with a high score per minute, what that means to me, without knowing that player at all, is that okay, this player probably has
a lot of domination. I play a lot of domination, and it does help. I mean, double XP domination.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, my score is I think in the 820 some odd range right now. But I mean, when I see the score, this is what it translates to me: is that I think that person is probably at the very least a decent killer. They've got a decent score per minute, which means someplace between 1.0 and 2.0. I think that's a decent KD ratio. and that they play objectives and they support their team. Now, to the extent of actually knowing the person, I mean, I don't know where their player divides, and what they do and how much they do it. But to me, a player with a high score per minute is probably going to be a good person to link up with, because at the very least they're getting points for either killing, assisting, or supporting their team or taking objectives. I mean, everything that you do obviously helps your team and gives you points.
Yeah.
So they're doing something right.
And even if they don't care about winning, at least they're giving you ammo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so important. But, switching gears here, here's something interesting I'd like to get your opinion on. What would you like to see in the Battlefield 4 single-player campaign?
Oh boy, the single-player campaign. Now this is actually hilarious, and I'm gonna have to take another beer after this, because once I admit this, you're probably just gonna throw your computer. I've only played, I think, the first 2 levels of the single-player campaign.
Same here. I think I've played less than that.
What? Well, how are you gonna ask me that when you've only played less?
It's your channel, dude. You're supposed to know these things.
Oh no.
No, but I was thinking of, and this randomly came in my mind, and I thought this would be the dumbest but coolest thing to do. For the next single-player campaign, it's just like combine a bunch of common aspects and situations from the Battlefield 3 multiplayer, and make like a single-player game out of that. Like Metro sniping from A. That's part of the Battlefield 4 single-player campaign.
If they could introduce some, like, okay, to me, like, the game is built around playing in Conquest. I can understand people that enjoy Rush, or people that play only Rush. That's their thing. But for me, I play 95% of my games in Conquest. If they were to introduce something like that in single player, to where it's like not so much just linear to, you turn this corner, you have to kill these guys, okay, you move on, and then you kill those guys. If they were to introduce something to where it's like, okay, you get into a situation where you're behind enemy lines, and then, oh shit, you're getting surrounded, you've got to survive, you've got to hold this point right here and defend this area for so long while enemies are swarming you. Like, it's, I don't know, if it was more of a, like, maybe there was like 3 different areas that you'd hit not simultaneously, but one after another, you know what I'm saying? To where it's like you have to control those points for a certain amount of time, move on, move on, move on. I don't know. And again, my failing in this argument is completely that I haven't really thoroughly played single player in Battlefield 3.
Yeah, well, I'm in the same boat. I was just playing Conquest on Metro the other night, and the spawn camp broke out because it was way too high at tickets. And I was thinking, this would be a single-player game. Just have your single-player guy sniping into their deployment. Have one of your computer guys, going, "This is how we played Battlefield 3, noob." Push a sniper rifle in his hand. Just some of the worst parts. We can kind of poke fun at, But other than that, though, I mean, stuff like taking out tanks with jets, on Caspian Card or Firestorm, something similar to that I could see in a multiplayer or single-player game. That would be kind of cool. That's just kind of a random question I thought would,
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool if they allowed you a little bit more freedom, and obviously, I mean, like I keep saying, I don't really know what's in the single player. I moved right on. There's few games that are shooters that really captured my attention as a single player campaign. And I think the last one that did it was, oh god, this is so long ago now that I think about it. I think Medal of Honor Frontline was the last one.
Is that the one where you're storming the beach at the front?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, I completely agree.
How awesome was that?
That was pretty intense. I had no idea what to do. I just kept, starting the game over and trying to run forward.
That was my first game for PS2 ever. Like my mom got me it for Christmas when it came out. She got me the PS2, and she got me Medal of Honor Frontline. And I remember playing it out in the living room, and like I was playing, and the only thing that I could think of was, wow, this is so awesome, this is so incredible and crazy, but why are there only like 8 guys storming the beach? That was like my #1 thought, even as a kid, man. I was like, this is not gonna happen with only 8 guys. Where are my reinforcements?
They didn't expect us to complete this mission. I don't think.
No, this is a suicide mission through and through. There's
This
no
is
chance.
not good. That's terrible.
I said, damn it to hell, I'm going to push through and I'm going to kill all these Nazis on the beach and I'm going to win, despite this game being broken.
Dude, I can... That is like... exactly the game I played.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. This is the weirdest thing.
Well, it's because it was back then. I mean, what are you gonna do? That was so long. I don't even want to try to think of what year that was. So long ago.
We have come
That's funny
a
as
long
hell.
way, that is for sure.
Yeah, we have.
Dude, that is like...
I'm gonna have to drink more now that I'm thinking of this.
Oh
geez.
my god, that's crazy. Oh man.
Geez. All right, well we're at the 31-minute mark here. So it's been fun as hell. We definitely are gonna have to have a part 2 because I feel like we've only really scratched the surface on things that we can talk about, and this has been a great conversation for me, and I've had a lot of fun. We've had some laughs. But this is going to be pretty much closing it out for this episode of Battle Chat. This is episode 2, and I've got here with me Na13-31. Thank you so much for joining me and coming on. Yep. And for you guys that want to get on the conversation, you want to, bring your own topics on board, just keep an eye out on Reddit or on our Facebook page. Make sure you guys add us on Facebook. I've got a link in the description, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Let us know in the comment section, anything you guys have to add to the conversation or things that you wanted us to expand upon further. I always listen to you guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us through this long episode, and we'll see you guys on the battlefield. Take care.